me assure you that our priority will remain to ensure stability and security.
In order to ensure the security and continuing stability,
security for Canadians.
Galactic Empire!
So this is how liberty dies. With thunderous applause.
You are listening to the Election Fallout on oppositionradio.com.
And welcome to episode 24 of Election Fallout on oppositionradio.com. My name is Tony Lothan, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Mike Cook, originally from North Bay and currently occupying Orillia, Ontario. And just remember,
he can either stand with us or with the child pornographers.
Is that correct, Mike?
Oh, don't make it so hard for me, Tony. Look, I'm just trying to survive through this Harper dictatorship too, okay?
He can either stand with us or with the child pornographers.
And that's a fact.
Damn it!
Oh my God. Can you believe he said that?
It's actually quite brutal, you know. I don't know if he was maybe he had an epiphany moment where he was like, remember when George Bush did that whole with us or against this thing? That was awesome. So he
George Bush
right
didn't pay any price for that whatsoever, eh?
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, George Bush got away with that totally. Anyway, Vic Taves just stuck his foot in it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I think that that one comment has galvanized the resistance to the Conservatives' so-called, what do you call it?
Well, it used to be called the Lawful Access Bill.
Yeah, now it's called the Protecting Children from Internet Predator Bill.
Right.
Yeah, nice, eh? Okay.
It's great for them to hide behind child victims. That's you know.
Yeah.
And not only has this galvanized the opposition, I think that it actually shocked some conservative supporters too. I don't think they're ready for how far Harper's Conservatives are ready to go when they do their grandstanding and their shock tactics.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, this was definitely stepping over the line because essentially any person in Canada that thinks that you know the government shouldn't be looking over your shoulder when you're on the internet is all of a sudden either a child pornographer or in support of the rights of child pornographers. Pretty bad, eh? Like, I mean, there's been a lot of righteous indignation expressed on the part of opposition MPs and people across Canada, but it boils down to this is where the Conservatives have taken the national discourse. We are no longer conducting a civilized discussion.
And you know what I wanted to point out too, Tony. We mentioned before in a previous show that the when it was called the lawful access portion of the crime bill, the omnibus crime bill, it was removed from the omnibus crime bill. And now I wonder, the Conservatives are always given so much credit for their ability to politically maneuver, and I think that this might be evidence of them getting a little overconfident. And that's the only thing I can see why they removed it from the lawful access bill was because they were going to make an issue out of it on its own, and I think it really backfired on them.
Well, so, I thought the original reason that I thought that they removed it from the omnibus bill, not what you say, but in addition to that, the fact that they also had to change hate speech so that all of a sudden a whole bunch of bigoted assholes on the internet didn't get outed for their anonymous bigoted hate speech.
Yeah, right? That's true too.
They pulled it from the omnibus bill, and they were supposedly going to change hate speech laws so that it didn't include the internet. Most things that a fucking former Reform Party person would have said on the internet.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Those people that they disallowed from being candidates in their party when they merged with the Progressive Conservatives.
Yeah, exactly. They still want to cover those people, you know what I mean? Because all of a sudden now if the government on a whim can attach your IP address to your identity, all that shit you've been saying on the internet and doing on the internet, that's no longer your private domain, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Then people have conducted themselves on the internet with some sort of expectation of privacy that obviously the Conservatives are intending to do away with.
Mm-hmm. It's just
But-
nice to see them fall on the wrong side of a wedge issue, though. That's the best part of this whole
It's
thing.
not done yet. It's not done yet. They're on their heels, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to talk to Lindsey Pinto of openmedia.ca, who's we're going to have an interview I did with her on the show today, because now that the bill has been prematurely kicked to committee for revisions, I'm sure there's going to be revisions, but are they going to go far enough to satisfy the critics of this bill? Or anybody that's concerned?
We still have to see what happens there.
This is round one, you know.
Right.
I mean,
we can't claim victory yet. In other words,
exactly.
I mean, it is nice also to see that this conservative government that gets up and stands up so often and never considers that they can be wrong, and usually doesn't even listen to or talk to any other party, whether it's the opposition party or other interested parties. Here they've been forced at least to change their ways to some extent. So we'll have to see where it goes, though. You're absolutely right.
Yep. And that's we have Lindsey Pinto coming on. But of course there's other things that happened this week that we want to talk about too, eh? Mm-hmm. A big one for me is the Justin Trudeau situation, which is very it's trivial and it's sensationalistic. But I don't want to talk about it in those terms like most of the mainstream media has been. I want to get into the nuts and the bolts and the dynamic of the situation. I want to play a clip of Justin Trudeau's response to the Conservatives targeting him as a separatist and discuss how his performance there plays into his leadership aspirations.
Right.
And
then of course too we have. There's always a little bit to talk about with the NDP leadership race, and then I believe we're also going to touch on the Drummond report today as well.
Absolutely. That about rounds it up, unless some random stuff comes up in the course of the show, then we'll talk about that too. But that about sets the roadmap for
episode 24.
Episode 24. That's another milestone for us too, eh? 24.
24.
And the next one is going to be another milestone too.
Because it'll be a quarter
of a century.
Quarter of 100.
Yeah, quarter of 100. And then I think that
we're on a roll.
Yeah, we're hitting milestone after milestone. I think the milestones will come a little bit fewer and further between after that, though.
Right.
What's the Queen on? We'll catch up to the Queen probably next year. You know what I mean? She's doing her Golden Jubilee right now. Mm-hmm. Let's start after we do the quarter century mark. Let's start planning our Golden Jubilee.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, man. So why don't we go to a track and then come back with the Lindsey Pinto interview?
Oh, okay.
Are you ready for that, or like we set the table and ready to go?
Yeah, I'm gonna go get me a glass of water here, and then I'll be right back.
Do it. Okay. This is the Bush Chemists with "Broke Again."
Time is extremely hard to make a living in this time. You know why? You know we broke again, boy. 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 Every man wants to make a living. Every man wants to make his shilling. Boy, yo. To feed up his picnic, and feed up his wife. Living on a gyro. You say what kind of life? You know we broke again, boy. 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 The government them swear to help we. Oh yes they do. Me looking at me pocket can't find a penny. It a the truth. Me read it in the paper, see it on TV. BBC 1, 2, and 3. A big credit crunch hit the country, and that's why you know we broke again, boy. 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 Can't pay the gas bill, can't pay the light bill. Whoa, all of the pressure come and kill. In up in a house, pocket can't find a penny. It a the truth. Me read it in the paper, see it on TV. BBC 1213. A big credit cruncher hit the country, and that's why you know we broke again, boy. 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 Till money's not we broke again, boy. You know we broke again, boy. You know we broke again, boy. You know we broke again, boy. Till money's not we broke again, boy. You know we broke again, boy. You know we broke again.
Hi, Lindsey. Thanks for joining us on oppositionradio.com. Perhaps we could start by getting you to tell us what openmedia.ca is and brief us on your work, on the work that your organization does.
Sure. Well, we're a national grassroots organization that works towards more informed and participatory policy when it comes to keeping the internet open and affordable. And how we are involved in the lawful access debacle is that we have this petition at stopspying.ca that essentially comes out against these warrantless online spying bills that have just been introduced to the House of Commons.
Yeah. Now, of course, when you say lawful access bill, of course you mean the Protecting Children from Internet Predators bill, right?
Of course, and that's very aptly named. No, that's in case it was unclear, that was sarcastic. No, this bill is really something that targets all Canadians and not just criminals. It's not even really specifically criminals. Yeah. And basically, it involves the government creating this giant and unsecure, really, registry of Canadians' personal data. It collects the data of any Canadian at any time, and yes, it's without a warrant, no court oversight. So it's a huge and unprecedented expansion of surveillance powers.
Yeah. So just to be absolutely clear, Vic Taves is incorrect by saying that you and I, who are concerned about this bill, he's incorrect by saying that we stand for internet child pornography.
I don't believe I stand for that. No.
Okay. I think that Vic Taves really stuck, like as Charlie Angus said, really stuck his finger in the political socket by uttering those words. I think.
Yeah, that didn't work out.
Yeah. But there is a bit of a history for this bill, which was originally referred to as lawful access. The Conservatives, when they were in a minority government, had tried to pass something like this, right? It was a no-go?
This has actually been around since the 90s, lawful access. The Liberal government initially introduced it, and then the Conservatives have introduced it, I believe, twice before. Once before Parliament was prorogued, and once before the election. Yeah. And it's died on the order paper every time. This time we have a Conservative majority government. It's very likely to go through. So we do need to raise a really huge public outcry in order to prevent this kind of warrantless online surveillance. We really need to remind them and make sure that they know that we are paying attention and that we will be around in 4 years remembering this.
Yes. Now, in terms of like you just mentioned, they have a majority. There's really nothing we can do if they want to pay the political price for passing something like this. They can do it. But I guess it's your job, and everyone that's opposing this is to create as much fear of political backlash that will come 4 years down the road as possible, to get them to hopefully change it to be as less offensive as possible when they're at committee, right?